So I have seen this difference, Aditi, that when men are into business, that business is their priority and they're all about that business. When
Yeah.
women are into business, the business is not the priority.
I wanted to become a model, honestly. How about you, ladies? Like, how do you have a dating life?
और आशिमा के बहुत weird filters भी हैं while she dates. So you can ask me.
That's your starting point. And I read that book, and it really changed my life, and I still apply the lessons that I've learned in that book.
What would be your advice to the people to get the first 10 clients? How did you get the first 10 clients in your business?
Even if in a tight knit community you like have an email list of even like just 1,000 people, you can still make $100,000 from that email list. Like people tell me, oh Aditi, I should not come off as very salesy. I don't want to sell people. All that is so crap. I mean, if you're not selling, you're not making money, you're not putting food in your stomach. Is that what you want to do? No, right? So just shut up and sell. When I started out, I didn't have the patience level in me as well. I used to tell them, नहीं नहीं तेरी गलती है, तूने ये क्या, तू ये तू वो.
Superb. So, welcome today, all of you, to episode 3 of Dil Se Dialogue. I'm sure आप सभी सोच रहे होंगे कि आज हम लोग अपने पॉडकास्ट स्टूडियो में क्यों नहीं बैठे हैं, because we wanted to do this episode with Aditi Jain. She was not available with us in Delhi NCR, so we had to do it online, and we really wanted to do this podcast with her. So, welcome Aditi Jain today. She is a business coach for coaches, solopreneurs, and she helped coaches and solopreneurs to scale their business with some amazing reverse marketing strategy that she's been using. So, welcome, guys. Today we have Aditi with us. Hi, Aditi.
Hey Atya, hey Ashma. I'm so excited to be here on your podcast, and really we had to go back and forth so many times, but finally we are here, and I'm very excited to see what the conversation unfolds. Specifically excited because all of us are women, all of us are entrepreneurs. I would like really excited to talk about how women are doing things in business, because I've never done like a woman centric podcast. I've always been called by either, like partners or a person like a male. But yeah, so this one's going to be something more interesting.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is going to be special because three women coming together, three women almost in the same business. So we are going to exchange some amazing ideas for our audiences out there, and I'm sure this is going to be mind blowing for the viewers there.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. We are so excited to have you on board, Aditi. It's been, I guess, it's been almost 2 months that we are trying to have a podcast. We
Yeah.
started having a conversation in, I guess, April or May, and today we
Yeah.
are in the month of September. We are finally doing it. So yeah, great. So, Aditi, is there anything that you would like to initiate as a conversation, or like, are you feeling that this is one of your client calls, or if you want to take that road, or how you want to go ahead with it?
So I generally love, so I have never ever spoken something about that is really like how women in this industry are, specifically in the coaching industry, in the marketing industry that we are part of. And, like I would like really want to inspire and motivate and help a lot of women like what you are doing, like what I am doing, and how can they also come up front. So I would like to start our conversation with a particular incident that happened with me like a couple of weeks ago. I was basically, working on like I was working from home that day. Generally, I do go to a co-working space, but it was raining a lot and I was working from home. And at that point of the time, I had like one of my niece and not my niece, my mom's niece, from my cousin, one of my small cousins. They had come over here. There was a guy and a girl, so I want to take this space to actually address what happened and how should people think about it. So there was like, well, two of my cousin brothers. There was a guy, brother and sister. There was a guy and a girl, both very similar age, 16, 17-year olds, and they came with their parents. And you know, when somebody comes to your home in an Indian household, you're basically supposed to greet them, offer them a glass of water and everything. And at that point of the time, I was working, and my sister is also an entrepreneur. She was also working, and we have a brother who's a 16 years old, right? So the three of them, me and my sister, we are live in a duplex. So me and my sister, we were above working. The guests were down, and their children were down, and my brother was down. So three of them were sitting together. So my brother just, like, got up and offered to give water and snacks to, the guests. And that's when, like, the guests started shouting, oh, oh, ye to ladka hai, like, why are you, like, having a guy work about it? Like, there are two girls sitting up above, like, why, just call them. And we were like doing important work. I saw that mentality not in just me, but then I went to a personal growth event like 2 weeks ago. And over there also same thing happened, where, so there were a lot of business owners. They would easily shake their hands with, like, my business partner Ayush, but they wouldn't, like, they wouldn't, like, even I actually, it was very embarrassing for me. Was I moved my hand, I went over there, I went to shake my hand with that person, but that person was like, he just brushed off and, like, he just walked away. So in this industry, was what I feel, the point of sharing this incident was, is what I feel, that as women we need to give more chances to other women to come up front, so that we are not just, like, depending upon the male dominated industry to take us forward or do something like that.
अच्छा, I think that's also मतलब उसकी वजह से मुझे ऐसा लगता है that we have a constant pressure of being our best all the time. We have to like game up all the time. We feel
Yeah.
we'll have to game up. मतलब थोड़ा सा भी हम पीछे रह गए तो already they feel that we're not able to do things for them. So we're already always on that pressure to game up the complete thing. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the pressure is always there, because there are so many people who already don't give you. So, we are not asking for that an advantage, we're just asking for an equal opportunity, right?
Right.
Which is also not being given, because people don't see women like, I've been told that you should not focus on your career, you should focus on household. I mean, I have those kind of relatives in my area, in my, like, khandan, who tells me all these things, that women should not focus on this, women should not focus on that. And, like, I feel that why are we having the entitlement that we should do this or should not, and where men get to have a choice that they can do this and they can't do this, so why can't we also get the same thing, right? So the best possible solution to these challenges that a lot of women face in real time, and I've not just seen with, like, people, but I've also seen it with my clients sometimes, wherein I'm seeing the same stuff. So there was a guy client like 2 years ago. I'm teaching the same thing, the same stuff. He goes back to Ayush, asks them the same question, he gives him the same advice, but when Ayush said it, that's when it, like, actually he consumed it. Okay, now this is right. You know what I mean? So it was not like we were giving some different knowledge or different advice. It was like completely same. And at that point in time, I felt like, I gave you the same shit, bro. What's the problem? Like, why didn't you apply it when you said? He was like, no, I was just confirming with him also. Like, what's the point of confirming? Like, you paid me, right? I'm telling you, do this. So the best way that, I've really understood to deal with these challenges is to completely ignore them, like, completely smoke screen them and keep doing the best you can. Obviously there is going to be a pressure all the time, where do better, do good things, do great stuff and all that. But then really it depends on, it is how it is. Like, you cannot go against it.
Of
Just learn
course.
how to take it with you and move forward and start making changes from your family.
So Aditi, actually, it triggered a question, and I'm a little curious there. Since you mentioned that you are facing this in your own business, so when it comes
Yeah.
to the business, I believe, like for me and Atya, Elevate now is our, I would say, an escape from all the things that are happening in our lives. and Elevate Now gives us that kind of empowerment and that kind of happiness कि ठीक है सब कुछ जल रहा है ठीक है but Elevate Now तो अपना है. Right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to you, like I know magic, so there you are, you have to actually deal with the same thing in your business itself. And of course Ayush is not responsible for any of these things, but like there are issues because of like well, because there is a male face, so that is why you are facing it more, right? So
Yeah.
how are you dealing with it?
So thankfully, I have a business partner who, helps me with these kind of situations. Because I'll tell you
Hmm.
one more thing. It was a business partnership. There was a guy who was doing ads for us and everything.
Okay.
And basically, I was a point of communication because most of the financial decisions, me and Ayush take it together. But I like be the point of communication so that I can convey the right things to him. So
Right.
at that point of the time, there were four of us in the meeting, and then the
Hmm.
guy who was actually doing ads for us, he said, like Aditi, and there was another guy, his team member. You guys can drop off. I have to speak to Ayush about something very important. And then we're like, okay, fine, must be some personal thing that he would like to talk
Huh.
about it. So I
Exactly.
dropped off, right? And
Right.
then later
Right.
I got to know that he was actually negotiating about the ad prices and everything, and he thought it would be better to do it with him rather than me having on the call, because he feels like he's the kind of person who would be responsible for making a decision. I was literally pressuring him, why do you have to talk to Aditi, like you can take this decision on your own, where he didn't realize that we're business partners, we have to talk,
Right.
we have to discuss, and then we'll make a mutual decision around it.
Right.
So these kind of incidents happened a lot in my own business as well.
Right.
I would not say that my business is my escape, because this is something that I'm building, not only because I love to build businesses. Like, this is not my first business, this is my
Hmm.
fifth or sixth business, that I'm doing. I do love to build a business, but I see like what's the bigger picture over here. I
Right.
did confront that man. I told him, like, why wouldn't you? So you know that we are business partners, and I was working with the guy for like 3 months. So we're
Hmm.
business partners. We've been working together for 3 months. Like, why didn't you have me on the call? Of course, if
Right.
it was a decision to be made, we cannot make it without anyone else's consent. Nor I can make it without his, nor he can make it
Right.
without mine. So he said that, I felt like he makes decisions and he was just like going here and there, because I was confronting him. I was like, next time I'll take care of it, I'll discuss it with both of you who want to do something like that and stuff like that. So he did apologize, but then you got to confront about it if something is not comfortable. But work with a lot of women entrepreneurs, because 70% of my clients are still women. I feel they bring the same thing in their business, and they start apologizing for the stuff which is nobody else's business. It's their own decision, but they I have literally seen women that, okay, you invest 1 lakh rupees or anywhere into a coach or maybe into a program or ads, and if it really doesn't work in the way that they wanted to, they start beating themselves so much up. Because see, it's a business, right? Every Nothing is guaranteed.
Of
Sometimes
course.
you'll make a lot of money, sometimes you will not make any money, and that's completely fine. But those women, who come to me for helping building their coaching business, if something goes wrong, they just like beat themselves up, they start blaming the situation, they get into so much panic mode. Why? Because they have so much pressure from their family and from their male, like husbands and everyone, that you are taking the time out of your family time, you're spending time on your business. So whatever you're doing has to work guaranteed. If it's not working guaranteed, you will be actually made felt bad about it, which is so wrong. I've seen these. I literally had a call in the morning and it was the same exact story. Like, she made an investment of like a 1.5 lakh somewhere. It worked out well for us. She made some 50-60K back, but it didn't really work well in the way she wanted to. Then when she went back to ask for more money, these are the statements that, she was hearing, like, पहले दिए थे, पहले उनका करके आओ, फिर आना, फिर हम बताएंगे. I mean, how embarrassing that is.
True.
Right?
That also reminds me of one thing which I have constantly felt this, because you've mentioned that you have worked more than 70% with women. So I have seen this difference, Aditi, that when men are into business, that business is their priority and they're all about that business. When
Yeah.
women are into business, the business is not the priority. They will still prioritize their kids, their home, their work, and then whatever time left, then they give it to the business, and then they expect the coaches to literally do wonders for them. I have
Yeah.
seen that a lot. I'm sure Ashima will relate. We have had so many clients who would not prioritize the weekly calls, not prioritize the work with us, and then and so I've seen basically a difference between men and women operating in business. So how do you deal with that with your clients?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And see, it's not their fault, it's their conditioning as to how they have been conditioned, what are their belief systems, and how important it is for them to be able to do this. So, if I say in my case, there were like hundreds, it's more about your gut and determination. Honestly, a coach cannot help you with this. It's more about how someone is. See, if you are not determined, if Atya is not determined to reach her goals, no matter, even if I do it for her and she's not delivering, and even if I get the money into her bank account and she's not working with clients, then what can I do? I can't do anything about it, right? There's nothing over on my control. So I have seen this pattern a lot in so many women, and it's only and only because of their conditioning. How much pressure, you don't know how much pressure, these people have. Like, they need to be a number one homemaker, they should make sure that they're a good wife, a good parent, a good mom. Some people live with their in-laws and joint families, so good, like daughter-in-law, all those things added up to this. They are just not given an opportunity to prioritize their work, prioritize their passion. And it's not like people cannot have it all. See, I have seen very successful women who have been able to raise a great family. They are doing really well in business. Like, all of this is possible, but you need to have the right people around you. So with right partner, right, parents, right, in-laws, all of these things are possible. But you just need to also. So there is like one of my clients who's, who helps this conflict resolutions in families. And that's what she says, that you can bring your in-laws and everyone to this point. You just need to make understand their priorities and see how can you fulfill them without being you in the process. But then again, a lot of women will hesitate to do that, because hiring house help, hiring someone else to take care of the child, or hiring help for cook, all of these things are never taught in the Indian culture. Like, it might be very popular in the Western culture, but in India, I'm sure like your moms would still be cooking for you. Right?
Right.
I mean, my mom is still cooking, and I have told 100 times, why do you want to cook? Like, just do something full day that you would like. You can get a cook for barely 5-10,000 rupees a month.
Yeah.
But still, my mom wouldn't do it. She's like, no, no, I cannot let my kids eat food from someone else's hands. Like that.
ट्रू ट्रू ठीक है, मुझे लगता है काफी सीरियस कॉन्वर्सेशंस हो गए हैं, तो मुझे एक क्विक आइस ब्रेकर जानना है. सो एनी फन फैक्ट अबाउट यू दैट आई वांट टू नो दैट योर क्लाइंट्स wouldn't expect at all from you?
I wanted to become a model, honestly.
Oh,
I
okay.
never wanted to become an entrepreneur. I just wanted to become model and wear pretty dresses all day long.
So
This
what
is
happened to that Aditi there?
Life happened, people happened, and and then I was.
बहुत अच्छा आंसर था ये.
this is good.
I mean, yeah, nobody. Uh, I was like 16 when I wanted to become a model, and my goal was only to keep wearing pretty dresses and walk the ramp. Like, that's what I wanted to do. I did participate, and I won Miss Lake City as well. I won that beauty pageant, and that gave me a lot of push. Oh, now I've won this, I can do more, and I can become Miss India and all that. But then there was a point in my life where life challenging हो गई थी, where our family was not really doing well financially, and I had to do something to start making an income, and that's how it all started. So when I started making money when I was like 18. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So, I'm sure because you are into business coaching, so there would be a lot of people coming up with a lot of different kind of requests because they feel if it is a one-on-one, so you are their go-to person for everything, be it something that is related to your like your deliverables, yes or no. They don't care. If you are there,
Yeah.
they'll ask everything to you, right?
Yeah.
So, what has been the weirdest and the funniest request you would have come across?
Weirdest and funniest, I feel I'm not able to remember as such, but yeah, there was a client, who so I was like in she lives in Ahmedabad only, and I also live here. So there was a client who came to me, and she was not a client yet; she was a prospect, and she came on a discovery call with me and like talking to her and everything. And then she said, like I would like to meet you and see that what kind of food you eat, and based on that, I make decisions as to who do I want to work with. I was like, what?
Did you say
like, bhai, ye to.
the
Yeah,
food
yeah,
you
she said food, that what kind of food you eat, and based on that, I can actually assess your personality, and then I'll be able to make a decision. Do I want to work with you or not? So that was very weird. I'm like, how will my food help you with my personality, and how does my personality depend on you making like money? How does that, all of that is connected? She's like, no, I work from like my spiritual energies, and I have to operate from that energetical place. And then there are some energies which will talk to me, and then I'll do it. And then she was like, I like, no, no, we're not fit to work together, I don't have any energy.
very strange, absolutely strange.
So there
But
are
I
weird
have come across,
prospects.
yeah, I have come across this kind of a request, not from the business perspective, but I wanted to join some yoga sessions. Maybe 3, 4 years ago, just after the pandemic, the first lockdown, when it happened, and then the first unlock when it happened. So I wanted to join the yoga because everyone was doing that and all. So I actually approached somebody who was known in that local area. So he was like, "Are you a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian? Why is it even relevant? Irrespective of my food choices, how is it relevant? No, then it will actually tell you that if yoga will be helpful for you or not." I, I was like, "Okay, I'll get back to you." So these are weird things like that
I think
happen.
that person wanted to date you or something, and pre-qualify kar rahe.
Uncle the
Oh,
he was 60 years.
I don't know what's going on through people's mind.
So
But
yeah.
yeah, I have this question for you that I don't have like any active dating life, or nor do I get the time. So how about you ladies? Like, how do you have a dating life? If yes, then how are you managing it? If not, then how are you planning to find people to go on dates with? Because how do you get the time?
So I
I
think
think I
this
can answer this.
is for Ashima, because I am way ahead in the journey. I am married. I have a
Acha.
husband. I live with my family. तो मैं तो काफी आगे आ चुकी हूँ जर्नी में, ये आंसर आशिमा कर सकती है बेस्ट। और आशिमा के बहुत weird filters भी हैं while she dates। So she can ask me कि क्या ये filter सही है, then I have to tell her from scratch कि आशिमा ये कोई filter ही नहीं है, you're looking for wrong people।
So I would like to know what kind of filter, because I also have certain expectations, and my parents are like, you'll never there's no such thing like that exists.
So when it comes to my dating life, so I actually don't have any life, beyond elevate now because I start working at 9 a.m. and I have worked till what 11:30, and then I sleep like a dead person and I wake up in a rebooted system. So this has been my journey. And when it comes to the weekends, so because uh, anyway it needs to grow, so I keep all my calls on weekends as well. And when I have a couple of hours available, so it is such a short notice that I'm not able to find somebody to go out with. So yeah, same story. And when it comes to the filters, so yeah, I have a weird kind of filters, I would say. It is not weird though, but everyone including Atya feels that it is weird. So the filters are that the person has to have an intellectual mind, first of all.
I have
uh,
the same filter that it has to have an.
that is why you and me are single now. She is married and we are not. So that is why.
But it's similar to, when you were asking me ki what is the, the basic thing that you look in somebody, and I gave you that answer to you, and you were like, no, I never thought it's important. So the other day, Ashima just came to me and asked me ki, what is the bare minimum, like a basic thing that, while when you got married, what you had in your mind, or why you got married to the specific person. So my answer was very clear to her that this person is totally opposite of who I am, and this actually is complementary for me because I am aggressive, I'm passionate, I'm very hyper, and I get angry very quickly. I have my issues in life. I'm just telling you, from that perspective. And this person is very calm. This
Right.
person adds a lot of peace to my life. There's a lot of calmness that comes along with him. So I think that is very important. That balance, is has to be there. So I was telling this to her, and then she said, "Ki nobody told me this. My friends have been giving me filters. Nobody's even telling me this is important."
My friends tell me all the weird things that you should go out on a date who is trying to pull a chair for you. And I go, okay, that is something that I can do for myself. I don't need that guy. Uh,
Yeah.
then they tell me that why don't you see a person who is very cute? When I go, then who will compliment me if he is the cuter one? Who will compliment me there? So yeah, there are a lot of things that happens here and there. So I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah. Com like Atya's advice that someone who's like 180-degree opposite of you, like I don't know if it's going to work for me or not because I mean I do want someone who I can have conversations with, like the thing that I understand I he should be able to understand so that I can have conversations. If communication is not, I think communication and conversation is the most important part of, like having a partner.
I
And
read it somewhere. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Communication से ज़्यादा comprehension is very important. You could be like communicating everything, and if the person doesn't comprehend how you want to
yeah, how they you want to perceive
go.
it to them, they'll not
I'm
understand.
not saying कि vision mindset भी same ही होना चाहिए. Vision has to, of course, same. You guys have to live a life together. So vision, mindset, you all going in the same direction. The goal has to be same. How you manage the future decisions, all of that has to be same. But otherwise, जो आपके वो skills है ना, that has to be, I think, complementary. Because
So
ऐसा थोड़ी ना
did
together.
you speak about your vision, your mindset, your goals before you got married?
Of course, 100%. I have had length and lengths of discussions about every imaginary possible situation in my head that I've had, and it's important to have those conversations. 100%.
So what's like a checklist? If someone would have कि ये conversation तो important है.
अच्छा आपको रिपीट लग रहा है क्या ये सारा कुछ?
It's coming back to me. ये same conversations, Ashima.
डेजा vu हो रहा है अत्या को.
गलती कर दी आत्या ने बता के कि मैं शादीशुदा.
यार ये पॉडकास्ट
every
लड़की रिलेशनशिप वो लग रहा है कि
every day Aditi, I'll tell you, I call her and I'm like, Atya, so this is the situation, how will you react? So every day it is
Yeah,
that kind
but
of
people,
conversation.
just because people have like found the one doesn't mean कि वो relation, मतलब I've seen my friends also after finding the one, they've been like really complicated with their life still.
Yes, 100%. यार any relationship, any marriage, and मैं 100% बोल सकती हूँ ये बात, after being 3 years of my marriage life and dating for 6 years the same person, it's an everyday effort, literally every day.
Yeah,
You have to put effort every day. आप ये नहीं सोच सकते कि I don't give a fuck, you know, I'm sorry my language, but I don't care, अब तो शादी हो गई है, अब तो हो गया, अब मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, देन इट्स यू नॉट गोना बी इन द हैप्पी प्लेस। और मेरा बहुत सिंपल मंत्र है कि आई वांट टू कीप दिस मैरिज और दिस होम हैप्पी, तभी मैं बाहर काम कर सकती हूँ। If I'm not happy in this house, if I'm not happy in this marriage, if I'm not able to be happy around my partner, then genuinely, Aditi, I'm sure you'll agree, you cannot work. My brain is
yeah,
functioning. I cannot work. I cannot perform in my business. So ये मुझे अपनी पीस ऑफ माइंड के लिए इसको तो सही करके चलना ही पड़ेगा लाइफ में। So that's
right.
something. And Ashima also, जब भी I lose track, she also give me that advice only कि you have not been working for 2 days, your mind is not on the right track. So stuff and get back to work.
Yeah. So enough about us. So coming back to you, Aditi. So as you mentioned that you always wanted to become a model and all. So like business coaching, when did it click to you that okay, business coaching is something that I would like to do? Like how out of everything, since you have been a serial entrepreneur, so how did towards the end you ended up with business coaching, and is this something that is your final destination or is it something that you're also exploring further?
It's not a final destination. I still feel that I don't think that I am here to, मतलब मेरे लाइफ का गोल ही अब बिजनेस कोचिंग है. आई मीन कोचिंग इज वन पार्ट. आई एम ऑल्सो एक्सप्लोरिंग पर्सनल ग्रोथ स्पेस नाउ. रिसेंटली इट कैच got my like attention that I would want to be more on stages and talk to people and be more on stage because I like doing that. I've been very bored of Zoom, to be very honest. But how did I move into business coaching? It was pure luck. Like nothing was
Mhm.
everything that I did in my life is all about luck and opportunities. And I would like to share this one thing, that most of the people, before taking a step towards doing something, they're always constantly thinking that should I do this, should I not do this, should I, ये opportunity मेरे लिए सही होगी नहीं होगी. But
Right.
the only thing that I did in my life was never think like that. I was like, anytime I see an opportunity, I just do it. So I'll tell you a story. There was a time where I sold my first course even without building my course. Like I just wanted to make some money. I wanted to invest in a business coach. I had no money in my bank. I had barely like 20-30,000 rupees in my bank. And I wanted to do something. Like, मुझे पैसा चाहिए. I want to understand how do I get money from. At that point of the time, I had my Instagram audience. I had an audience and I was like, okay, we can do something with this audience. And that is when I started, I started promoting a course on how to create content on Instagram. There was no background content created, no recorded modules, nothing was there. And I just like saw it as an opportunity to make money. Once I got my first 7 payments, then I started recording the course. But then if I would have felt something like I should have a course, then only I can start marketing it, I would have never been able to do that. Because again, the motivation doesn't comes from building a course, but motivation comes from making more sales, right? So if I see
True.
sales coming in, then only I'll have the motivation to create a good course.
True.
So I started off with doing MLM when you are 18 and you're like given an opportunity that you'll be making a lot of money, you'll
Right.
ride in BMWs and Mercedes. And so Ayush saw a seminar and he came to me and Aditi, this is something that we can actually do. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I never even hesitated, या मैंने second thought भी नहीं दिया कि करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए. I'm studying for my engineering, मेरे grades down हो गए तो अरे जो होगा देखा जाएगा. I always have this attitude. Whatever happens, happens. Like what I can do is how I'm living right now. So I cannot think about the future and delay my current decisions. So from MLM, we made only 10,000 rupees. But at that point of the time when I was making zero income, even 10K
Right.
was a very big deal. We shut that down because our parents got to know and they were like, "What are you guys doing? Focus on your studies. Don't do all of this." And we had to like close it down. So we did that, and then we did another business, which was an e-commerce startup, which took off pretty well. We made good income as well, but then the problem with that e-commerce startup was we didn't have any technical knowledge to even scale it up, and at that point of the time, we didn't have the patience to see a vision in a business. Like now, I'm doing coaching for 4 years. I have a vision that I want to take my business here. At that point of the
Right.
time, I just had a vision of making money, like what can I do to make money, and the next opportunity and the next opportunity, and it came along, and then COVID happened and everything shut down. So I had an event planning business, I had like a typing job business, I used to go to schools to teach them dance, and Ayush used to teach them like karate and all that where we were both never like professional dancers or like martial arts or something. We just knew this, that I had a hobby of dance and I knew I can dance better than 5 6 year olds. So I taught them dancing, and they were get paying us 900 rupees a day per person, and we used to like travel to 50 kilometers to do that job, and we used to skip college on Saturday because Saturday was the day of the week where we used to go there every week and teach them. So we used to do all of that, and then we used to calculate the profits because we used to go in a public bus. तो वहां पे हम
Hmm.
जाते थे पब्लिक बस में, 50 रुपीज लगते थे जाने के, 50 आने के, ऐसे पकड़ के बस को खड़े खड़े जाना पड़ता था. एंड ओके, वी हैव मेड 800 रुपीज. वी हम लोग कभी कभी लंच भी स्किप कर लेते थे क्योंकि हमको प्रॉफिट चाहिए होता था. We used to do stuff like that, and eventually we got into freelancing, creating content on social media. I was a marketer all the time because I just love marketing. Like I just love creating content. I don't know why. I don't know where did that bug came from, but I just love doing it. And we started consistent clients, our Instagram page, and then we saw that at that point in time, I didn't know what coaching industry is. Like 2019, मुझे खबर ही नहीं थी कि what is coaching, what is all of this. Then I started getting coaches as clients, and one of my coach, who's a holistic health coach, she is also from Delhi. I got her as my client, and like it changed my entire trajectory. I got into personal development. I started learning more about this industry, and it was because I had to write content for her. She used to coach me on a lot of her subject, her health, personal development, mindset, how powerful mind is. Like at that point of the time, I knew nothing about mindset, how your mind is the way your life is, how your thoughts turn into your actions. Like I didn't have any clue. And then she recommended me a book, said that I asked her like how can I learn more about all of this. She said, Aditi, read Think and Grow Rich. That's your starting point. And I read that book, and it really changed my life, and I still apply the lessons that I've learned in that book. There is a lesson in that book, how 3 feet away from gold. So there is a guy A and guy B, and both of them are digging for gold, right? So A person bolta hai that okay, I've dug enough, there is no gold, and he just goes away. B is like, let me just keep going, keep doing, someone told me there's gold, so there will be here. And 3 feet away he finds the gold and he becomes rich. So every life, whenever there are tough times, whenever I feel like this month I've not made money, what should I do? It's like I'm just 3 feet away from gold. I have to just like keep going on, and it's just there. It's there. It's lying there. I have to just reach there. And that's how I moved towards business coaching. After reading all these books, I mean, personal growth was something that led me towards the coaching industry, and because I was a marketer, I chose business coaching. So and it was not a conscious decision. Like I started getting coaches as my clients for freelancers. We started applying the strategies on them, and they started seeing good results. Within 10 months, one of my done for you client, he made like $100,000. So that's where I decided, okay, it's time to do this full time and like teach other people how to make more money.
While we are talking about starting up and building that business, so how what would be your advice for the people to get the first 10 clients? How did you get the first 10 clients in your business? What do you suggest for people
So
to
if I
do?
say my first client, I wouldn't say coaching or in any industry. Like when I was freelancer, the first client that I actually got was from my network. So the school that I studied, I saw their Instagram page. So what exactly I did, I saw their Instagram page and Facebook page, and it was like nothing was really going on their page. It was very like bakwas, I would say. So what did I do? I knew my principal of the school and the director. I knew them. They know me personally as well. We had great relationship. So I told them, sir, look, this is what I can do for your school. These are the changes that I've thought. I created a presentation and I emailed it to him and also sent him on WhatsApp. Like then he books a call with me, and then 3 days later, like I got my first client. So that's how I got my first client, through my reference, through my network, and that's how most of the people get their first clients. Through their referrals, through their network, tapping into the people who they think can help them get people. My first 5 clients were those, that strategy, that I used to like just, I have also, so before I used to just work with schools and coaching centers to help them get more leads, using social media and build their brand on social media and everything. Graphic designing, making sure the posts are on time, all those were my services. So I used to cold call schools, are you looking for marketing and everything? And we used to also visit schools. So there was a school that Ayush studied. Me and Ayush studied in different schools. We visited there. We used the same strategy, like created a presentation for them, told them, look, this is what we can do for you, and these are the changes that you would see in your footfalls and everything. And that's how we close that person as a client as well. So it's more about you showing other people what you can do for them, what's in it for them, why should they choose to work with you. And sales become pretty easy then.
Got it.
But hasn't it been difficult for you to actually get money out of somebody you already know? Because that is when, especially in India, it becomes a problem.
Yeah, it does. So I have my cousin, like my really close first cousins, my father's real brother's son. So they are my cousins. So they started a t-shirt brand and they wanted someone to handle their social media back in 2021. They did all of this, and the best strategy that I actually do is I use this, that look, I understand that we are into family relationships, but if I was
Right.
the only person who had to do this, I would have done it for you. But honestly, I do have other clients and my time goes there. So for me to be able to pay 100% attention to this, to make sure that you are getting optimal results, it's just not me, my clients also will be involved in the same thing. And we have to sorry, my team will also be involved in the same thing, and we have to pay them, right? So here's the charge, and like we generally charge this, but because you're family, we know you, blah blah blah, this is what I'm going to charge for you, and you have to be upfront about it from the beginning.
So when you mentioned that, like this is something that you have been doing, and there have been like you got your first client in the business coaching, like they approached you because you had
Hmm.
some visibility over your Instagram, right? But I'm sure there would be a lot of people approaching you that they do not have any visibility. So that is when how they should be getting the Instagram. How were you able to grow your Instagram organically?
See, if you don't have visibility and you want clients, I mean, organic Instagram growth is a different part. But if you want clients and you don't have visibility, you should do ads. If you don't want to do ads, you need to have the patience to grow your Instagram organically, a month, a two, maybe three, four. You don't know how much time it will take, neither do I. But yeah, the best way to do something is get some help and hire mentorship rather than just trying to figure it out on your own. you will keep trying, keep testing, keep doing it, but you will never be able to reach the goals that you have until you have someone who has already done it for you. Now, if someone really wants to grow on Instagram, look, I'm not an Instagram growth expert. मेरे पास भी 6,000 followers ही I don't have a lot of followers. But yeah, I know how to get leads using Instagram. And it's pretty much the content that you create. So even if you go on my Instagram and see, like every post we generate leads, even though I have like such a small followers. And the best part that I see my audience become my fan or become my cult community is using the story features very appropriately. Like, I feel a lot of coaches miss out on this. They just come on the story to make offers. Well, that's good, and you should do that. You are going to get leads. But see, it depends that are you creating some, if you see the longer term impact, are you creating it just to make money, or are you doing something to make an influence? When you're doing something to make an influence, people will buy from you no matter if you sell business coaching, relationship coaching, even a product or whatever. You know, someone like Vanessa Lau, she did everything to make an influence and not actually, just sell. And that's why when she came back, her engagement didn't drop. She didn't post for a year. After a year, she posted content. All of that didn't matter. So even in my life and my business, I truly make sure that every content piece I'm putting out there is to make an influence, and leads are just bonuses for me. Leads will come to you if you are able to create that influence. How many people like just see someone's page and like, you know what, this person is doing so well, I want to do something like her. When you're able to give that feeling to someone, then followers really don't matter if you want to make get clients. Unless you want to become an influencer, that's a whole different story. But if you're a entrepreneur, you want to get clients, then followers don't matter. You matter, your influence matters. Even if in a tight knit community, you like have an email list of even like just 1,000 people, and you're really nurturing them, and you're really creating that influence in front of those 1,000 people, you can still make $100,000 from that email list. And I did that. My first $100,000 came from my Facebook account that still has only 4,000 friends, and we're still closing sales from the account every week, because it's all about you making an influence and not running behind followers. Because, and specifically when in the height, so I don't do like L1, L2, L3 and any of that stuff. I directly do like high ticket. In high ticket you just need few people. And how to make that influence? See, I always use these three pillars. Number one is what will make people get inspired by me, my strong polarizing opinions which I'm not afraid to share online. I've seen a lot of people, wanting to be the goody goody person, but the goody goody person doesn't really create something big in the market out there. So Ashneer Grover, the most controversial person we know. How many? I mean, everybody knows Ashneer Grover, but do you know any other sharks? Do you even remember their name? Maybe you must have seen it somewhere, but like if you, अगर हम Shark Tank बोले, तो it's Ashneer Grover whose name will pop into your mind, right? So if you want someone to remember by, them to buy from you consistently, no matter what you do, you need to learn how to make an influence.
Right. I because Aditi, हम लोग भी बहुत closely we also work in, this is also one of our territory. So I see a lot of new coaches have major mindset blockers. So what exactly are the mindset blockers, most common blockers that you have seen in the new coaches, and how do you help them overcome that?
Most common blockers, specifically, in the Indian coaching industry, is I feel their personal relationship with money and sales. So they feel so shy and so afraid. I mean, I've worked with more than 400 people till now, 400 coaches, and I think 350 of them were facing these blocks, that how can I ask for money? How can I follow up with them? How can I message them? How can I do this? How can I do that? Like, Why is the person not willing to give me the money just like that? I'm like, did you give me the money just like that, or didn't I just do multiple follow-ups with you, calls with you, to make you understand about my system or process? So they have a very bad relationship with money and with, sales in general. Nobody likes to go on calls and talk about their services. They don't want to pitch their offer on their social media. They don't want to follow up with people. They don't want to talk to them on the chat, or they don't want to talk about their services. And I feel, that sense really comes from a point, lack of self confidence in them. Why? Because if they are very much confident and very much excelling in the kind of services that you are going to provide, then why are you afraid to sell? It doesn't make any sense, right? Amazon is giving you offers every day because Amazon is proud of its services. Amazon knows that it's giving the best things, best services to everyone. So if you are not really, like, it has to come from within you. I sell every day. I have my calendar even packed up for today. I have like 6 7 calls to go to, today as well. So I sell my services every day because I'm done 100% confident into my product, my service, and the kind of quality that I bring to the market. But if you are not confident, you will always have this bad relationship with sales. You'll always have this relationship that I should not sell. I should not come off as very salesy. Like, people tell me, oh, Aditi, I should not come off as very salesy. I don't want to sell people. All that is so crap. I mean, if you're not selling, you're not making money, you're not putting food in your stomach. Is that what you want to do? No, right? So just shut up and sell is what I actually want to say. But then I need to make them understand that, dude, you need to know this is how business works. Everyone is selling. If you're not confident about your services, I cannot help you out. But you need to be confident and make sure that this is going to give me 100% transformation if anyone is going to join my program. So this is biggest block that I've seen coaches having, that they're not afraid. And that's why, like, a lot of like, coaching industry ka naam kharab kyun hai? It is because of this reason why a lot of people are afraid to sell. They're not selling in the way that they should be. They're not putting their 100% in. And sometimes I feel कि लोगों के लिए इतना important भी नहीं है to be able to, talk about their services so much. They feel like if it happens, fine. If it doesn't, then it's also fine. So if you're coming with that attitude, and if you everything that you've got in your life, everything that you have, up and down, whatever, if you're not putting your whole and soul into your business, it's never going to take off. And I've talked to entrepreneurs who are making $1 million a month, and everybody says the same thing, that making 10K or making 1,000, $2,000 a month was way easier. If you really want to scale, there will be new challenges that will come across, but you cannot let your mindset stop you from selling. And I've seen that all the coaches in the market who are teaching, all the strategies work, everything works. But it's the people who are not applying it in the right way that's given to them. And then they start coming up with claims, oh, I'm not making money, this is scam, that is scam, blah, blah, blah. So all of this comes from a lack within you, that if you choose and decide to be an entrepreneur, act like one. How many failures Jeff Bezos had before he finally found success? But people just want to make money quick. And that is a mindset block again that they have, that you really want to make fast money. You really want to make sure that you are quickly making sales, quickly doing. Everybody wants so fast results, as if we all have a flash inside us. But that's not true, right? It took me how many years? 8 years of building business to come at a point where I am actually stable and sustainable. But it took me 8 years, right? So why aren't you willing to give that patience, that level? If you can't, then go do a job. But if you are in this chose to become an entrepreneur, and not even an entrepreneur thinks that that person wants to solve problems. You're all just business owners right now, or everyone's just a business owner right now. who's just here to make some income, make some quick bucks. But this is a very wrong mindset that it's going to happen very fast. It's a quick get rich quick scheme. So a lot of people have this crazy, like, coaching is so fast money making and stuff, but it's honestly not. I mean, you know it, I know it. We put in our blood and sweat every single day, and it's like any other business. People, and I see a lot of people are marketing in the wrong way, that work 3 hours a day and you'll make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Who's doing that? मतलब कहाँ है वो लोग, मुझे भी बताओ कि आप बता रहे हो वर्क 3 आवर्स अ डे, तो आप काम कर रहे हो 3 आवर्स अ डे, मुझे ये जानना है.
Right.
True, true, true. Okay, great. So, I'm sure that people would be coming up with a lot of things here and there, and this is a constant thing. But this is what this question is actually for me. So I am somebody who is very aggressive, and if I talk about my patience level, so I would say it is in negative, not even zero. I would say it in negative. And a lot of times what happens that clients come and they just start speaking anything and everything. So how do you control yourself of not saying what they deserve, but rather making it more professional? So how do you do it?
Yeah, when I started out, I didn't have the patience level in me as well. I used to tell them, नहीं नहीं तेरी गलती है, तू नहीं है क्या, तू ये तू वो. So I was like that person, but I had to do a lot of coaching myself on me. That look, do you have the faith and system in your process, Aditi? Then Aditi is like, yes, I do. Okay, Aditi, you have system, faith and system in your process. Now understand where are they coming from and what has happened. Because see, 99% of the time, whenever client comes with a client grievance or a client challenge, it is because they are facing some challenge in their personal life. So,
Right.
I had a client coming up to me, oh, Aditi, your reverse attraction marketing is not working. What is all this? I'm not making money, anything of such sort. I'm like, okay, let's jump on a call and see what's not working for you. I went on a call with this person and I'm like, tell me what's not working. So he posted like, 2, 3 content pieces in the last 30 days. And I'm like, dude, you've not even done like 10 pieces. What do I judge on? What do I make a decision upon? And then person is like, then I started understanding, so what exactly happened, did something change in your life in the last 2, 3 days that gave you this reaction? Then I understood, okay, this his parents were pressuring him that make money, because he's like left his job and done doing a business. His parents are pressuring him, so he blew that frustration out on me. So as a coach, you are a sponge, you have to absorb that. I understand you will get a lot of negative energies in that journey, and it's very common to get that. So in the service industry, this is a very very big, uh, I would say, flaw, that people get to react this way, people get to act this way, which is so wrong. I hired an Instagram agency to help me grow my followers. They were not able to deliver. And they said that, look, if you want the refund, you can take the refund. I'm like, I mean, being from a service industry, I know that they were putting in the time, they were putting in the effort, they were putting in the work. I did not take any refund from them. Instead, I told them, okay, work with me to help me grow it. Obviously, it didn't work out for many reasons. That's a complete different story. But if that is the biggest problem in India, that people don't value your time. I know that those guys gave the time, so well, I have to pay them the money. Like, nothing is guaranteed. But people think that, just because a strategy is being given to you, it's guaranteed. It doesn't work like that, right? So this is a very big challenge in this industry. But then after speaking to like people in India who are at the top, I've realized it's a challenge for everyone, and it's not about me or my business. It's about you. Like, if you made a decision to commit to something, you have to fulfill it. If you made a decision, हमने तो जबरदस्ती आपको नहीं बोला join my program. You joined it by your own will and own self, right? So just commit to it. If you can't, then we cannot help you out. Your commitments, like, we are businesses, we cannot like keep on calling you and telling you to do the work, right? I mean, there is a accountability coach and everyone who's there to help people out and everything, but at the end of the day you have to be self motivated to some sort. Like, मैं आपको सब कुछ लिख के भी दे दूंगी तो भी you have to be self motivated to follow it.
100%, 100%. That's totally on
And
point.
this patience, Ashima, that, the question you had, it develops over a period of time. Like, I have literally had people, who are shouting on me. There were those kind of people as well, and I was like, and those were the people who made money with us, but they had some personal challenge, and I had to like nullify that effect, that look, this is because you're reacting like this, it's not because of me. So you have to then again coach your clients on that way and understand where is it coming from, what happened, what changed.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. So, my next question here, Aditi. I have seen that you have some amazing reverse marketing strategies that have been working crazy for people. So, because you have also said multiple times that you are more of a marketing person, so in your complete journey, what's the craziest marketing myth that you have debunked in the complete journey? Any myth that you
uh Craziest marketing myth, I'm not sure, but yeah, so I used to always think, so we get a lot of leads, right? And we talk to people on, like, our setters are talking to people on Instagram all the time and everything. So I used to feel like, anyone who can actually pay me the income, I had some qualifiers, that they should have a good profile picture, they should have this, they should have good content, all those kind of stuff. But honestly, I have had people who had zero followers, zero, no profile picture, zero post, and they still paid us a high ticket income. And that was really an eye opener, because I used to never talk to those people. I have had once a guy paid me who just had pictures of bikes on his profile. I used to make a lot of judgment based upon the profile and everything, like how are they looking. But then you can never do that unless you have a conversation with someone. You can never make that outside judgment unless you have a one-on-one conversation with someone to see that if they can really pay you or not, pay for your services or not. And another thing that really, really, you know again a myth, that I used to think that you need to have like a lot of edited good quality content, and that is the only content that will go viral or stuff like that. My viral videos that have gone viral on my profile, they were the ones, they were just my pictures with a good story, like no edits, nothing. And the ones that I really put, the edited ones, they never go viral. Never ever. So that was a very big learning that I had in my journey, that you don't have to like really be a very, you don't have to create content, you don't need a lot of equipment or editing. If you have a good phone, a good camera, and good things to say, you can create content on Instagram.
Got
totally?
it. So, Aditi, one last question from my side. I have seen you talking about that even in your content, even in your stories, your post, and here in the podcast as well, that you make X dollars. So, since we are in India, your target audience is Indian. So, why do you use the currency of dollar instead of INR? Is there, again,
Because
this is a marketing thing?
I have clients from all across the globe, so I just don't have Indian clients. But I have, so still like 40% of my clients are not Indian, and 60% are. Even though 60% are, because I use ads in India. Ads outside of India are expensive, and if we are getting a good
Yes.
ROAS here, then why don't we do it over here? You know.
Yeah.
So that's what, that's the whole point of using dollars, because even on my Instagram I do have international audience as well. So I just want to use
Mhm.
a currency that's understood by everyone. And again, it's a qualifier for me, like if someone, uh, and a person in India who understands the dollar currency is a much better client for me, because they're thinking that they want to international they want to get international clients, they want to make money in dollars. If someone is not even
Mhm.
thinking like that, then probably they're not like a very, it's more about desire level, that how much
Right.
your prospect has the desire to actually grow in their life. So if someone is thinking to go international and have that, that is such a much better prospect for me compared to someone who's just like thinking in terms of INR. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's more about their psychology, that if they are
Makes
aware of
sense.
the international market and they're thinking to go there, they must be willing to invest faster in me compared to someone who's just doing something in India.
Got it. Got it. Superb. I think that clearly answers, and this was very, very interactive. I just immediately want to go back and watch the complete episode. Seems like it was really amazing. Anybody watching through would really have so much growth and ideation strategies throughout the complete process. And also because हम लोग for the first time बात कर रहे थे, तो it was all very organic. We wanted to
Yeah,
keep as a first conversation ताकि बहुत organic हो सब कुछ, and literally it was amazing, amazing. How was your experience, Aditi?
amazing. I was able to talk about a lot of things, your dating life. That was a highlight. So हमको lessons भी मिल गए, how to choose a partner. So I also learned a lot of things today.
Quite a fulfilling session, I must say.
Yeah.
ठीक है.
Great.
Superb. So thank you for joining us, all of you, on this episode 3 of Dil Se Dialogue. We will keep coming back with some amazing, amazing people and some top leaders from the industry to give you amazing insights about how you can build a business, scale a business, and reach your destination rightly. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you so
time.
much for having me.
Thank you. Bye bye.